Don Westfall, Dan McCarger back in downtown Mankato, the Verizon Wireless Center, where we honored Don Bros tonight. I don't know how many games Don Bros would have coached like this. They had some wild games back in the Division II days, but you heard from Mike Hastings. It's been a long time since he's been involved in a game like the one we just saw.
Well, it's a lot more fun, as he mentioned, when you end up on the top end of the 6-4, not on the bottom end of the 6-4, but it was a wild night here at Verizon Wireless Center. I don't think anybody expected this. If it would have been 4-3, I would have believed it, 4-2 game, but 6-4, and then no scoring in the third period.
And maybe the biggest play of the game was the goal that was disallowed there in the third.
Yeah, that was all set up by a hand pass. Just the puck was coming out. One player touched it with his hand. The next player to touch it was a Husky, and it's a hand pass and a good catch. I forgot to mention the coach, but a good catch by whoever on the bench noticed that and got that play reviewed and looked at, and 6-5 game became 6-4.
Obviously, with 10 goals in the contest, we have a potpourri of scoring to show you, and we'll start that off here with some goals way back in the first period of play. And again, the Mavericks jump out with a little bit of a jump here, and they got a quick 2-0 lead.
Clint Lewis, his second of the night. We originally thought Max Cota got it, but it was deflected off of one of the defenders at 4:41, and that makes it 2-0 Mavericks. Now here's Ryan Papa at 5:39 to make it 2-1 Mavericks. That's from Paling and Winnecke, each of their first of the season. Then we're going to look at the third goal. That's Blake Winnecke from Borgen at 10:56. That makes it 3-2 Huskies after one period of play. After the Mavericks are up 2-0 after 5 minutes of the game, they trailed after one. Now Jordan Nelson from Nicholas Rivera and Max Cota at 2:26. Nelson's first, Cota and Rivera's first assist of the season as well. We'll go to Daniel Tedesco at 5:19 from Ben Storm and Jacob Benson. Those are their first each of the season. And then the Mavericks are going to finish out the scoring. Tying it up here, Parker Toomey. Hunterbrinker gets it down low. Toomey with a rebound of his own shot. And Hunterbrinker with a lone assist, his third of the season. Toomey's first goal as a Maverick. That evens it. Now here's Chandler Madry from Daniel Brickley and Ian Scheid at 11:04 to give the Mavericks a one-goal lead, 5-4. And the final goal of the game will be Parker Toomey, his second of the season. I guess we're not going to have that one. Toomey made it 6-4 from Zeb Knutson and Hunterbrinker at 15:21.
Stats on the contest tonight as Dan catches his breath after all of those highlights. Mavericks end up out shooting the Huskies 33-26 on the night. Both teams 0-for-2 on the power play and faceoffs 32-31. Pretty even contest, obviously, in a game like this where the Mavericks jump out 2-0 and then they give up 3 goals. Lots of ebbs and flows and momentum in the contest. But our play of the game is going to be the game-winning goal. And Madry gets one past Driscoll. That ended the night for Driscoll in the nets. And again, that goal there by Madry. Our Jay Beal top 4 play of the game. Jay Beal Real Estate Group does the little things that make a big difference. Out-of-town scores with Dan McCarger.
Tech with a surprising 1-1 overtime time with Huntsville. Bemidji shuts out Northern Michigan 2-0. Western Michigan big over Bowling Green. Lake Superior State beats State tonight 7-3. Omaha and Alaska set to get underway at 11:07 our time. Canisius and Alaska Anchorage underway. We don't have a score on that one. Notre Dame beat UMD 3-1, so they split their weekend series. Quinnipiac over Maine 3-2 in overtime. Denver leads Boston to a 1-0 in the second. New Hampshire over Clarkson, Northeastern over Bentley, and North Dakota over Rensselaer 5-2.
And again, our final score tonight, 6-4, and the Mavericks open the season 4-0 and now take one of their big trips of the year and get back into WCHA play, but should have some momentum. Probably maybe would vault themselves into the top 10 of the rankings, and they travel up to Fairbanks to take on the Nanooks.
We're going to put the cameras in the back of my 95 Dodge Ram, and we're going up there.
We are. Wow, we're going to road trip it.
Let's do the game.
Maybe not, but we'll be back here in a couple weeks, and the Mavericks, again, all of a sudden quickly have become one of those teams to kind of keep track of, and again, obviously, goaltending defensively not the strongest of nights, but they're still getting lots of scoring up and down the lineup tonight. All 4 lines getting involved with the play, and that's a sign of a team that's going to do well during the season.
Certainly, and when you get to the end of the season, you may look back at these first 2 weekends of the season and say, that's why we made the NCAA tournament. As last year, you looked at those first 4 games and say, that's why we didn't make the NCAA tournament.
And Husky fans, I got a feeling you're only going to get better as the season rolls on. It's your first action of the weekend, but obviously in a game like this, a couple of plays here and there. And the big question, I think, for a lot of the Husky fans, goaltending. They need to get some more solid goaltending there in the back end.
Well, you got 2 freshmen who have never played before coming into this series. Now they both have a game under their belt. Smith played better than Driscoll, obviously, but both of them playing pretty good competition for their first games ever. So I'm sure they'll look back at this and learn from it. But you've got to be over 90%. Mike Hastings just says it. If you want to win, you got to be over 90%. They were nowhere near that this weekend, and they got swept.
So the Mavericks again with the sweep, and we remind you that after the Mavericks do take on the road next weekend to Alaska, our next action here on a Maverick Hockey Weekend, the 28th and 29th of October, as the Mavericks return to the Verizon Wireless Center to take on Ferris State in the WCHA battle. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight and this weekend. For Dan McCarger and myself, Don Westfall, and the rest of the students from Bethany Lutheran College, we thank you for watching. One more time, tonight's final score, and a wild one from downtown Mankato. It was Minnesota State Mankato 6 and St. Cloud State 4. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.